Alright, I'm going to analyze a game I played at St. Charles Chess Club in St. Charles, Illinois. They are located at 101 South 2nd Street in St. Charles, Illinois. They meet every Thursday at 7 p.m. Ladder games start at 8. People usually get there around 6 and they talk about chess and other stuff. This game was with Mr. Kevin Taylor. Never played Kevin Taylor before. He's been coming to club for a little while. It was rated 1550. So I didn't really know what to expect playing him. And we will start the game. He played the Caro Kann. Now, I don't study openings at all. It's probably one of my biggest drawbacks is I just don't like studying openings. I've been playing for a few years, so I have a few little things that I like to play, and I like to play this c4 line here. I don't really know if that specific move has a name or not. If you're interested, you can look it up yourself. I know that coming up here, we are going to go into a Panov-Botvinnik variation or some goofy such thing. Generally, I'm waiting for black to play c6 before I play my knight to f3. The reason for that is this pin here. Another downside to this c4 is this isolated queen pawn that it usually happens on the board. It's not losing, you just really need to know how to play with it. So this is just kind of a waiting move to see if what he's going to do. If he's going to play e6. e6 is the main line that I know of. I'm kind of unfamiliar with where the opening's going. I have different ideas that I like to play. I don't know what the main lines are. And I kind of expected this. According to the main line, we are in the Caro Kann Panov-Botvinnik attack. Try to say that 10 times real fast. You can see here the c takes d5 gives white a pretty good percentage. A lot of draws. Black wins very few. I didn't know that. So I played the takes there. And the reason I played that, you know, if he takes here and I take here, you know, we have this attack on this here. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Giving myself an isolated queen's pawn, but at the moment I don't think it's too bad. I could have probably played a different move than this. Let's see what it says. It gives queen b3. My bishop e2 isn't bad, although it does give black a little bit of an advantage. That's enough of that. Just developing pieces here. I play this move, and I do it quite often. Many players will, oh, I can win the bishops, get the 2 bishops. I don't really mind that because when I recapture, I've gotten rid of my isolated pawn. I could possibly set up pushing with this pawn and getting things, you know, get rid of these pawns and get an open game. I am putting a little pressure on this, but what I'm really looking at doing is takes, or even takes with the queen. You know, if he does just waste a move, let's just do this and we takes. Now my isolated pawn doesn't look so bad. If we go something like this, again, I don't think isolated pawn, there's nothing wrong with it. We both have isolated pawns. And this is, to me, positionally, strategically, whatever you want to say, is just not that great. This knight is great here at blockading this isolated pawn. You want to blockade it, keep it from being defended, attack it, and win it. This just gets rid of it. Yes, it does give me a backwards pawn at e3. I don't think this is necessarily a problem right now. I also have the option of playing up here, and this knight is, this bishop is a little weak. I think this was a positional error, just my opinion. Here I started looking at maybe ideas. I could put my queen here and get a nice attack on these 2 pieces. Couldn't get it to work out though. With the rook here, I'm just looking to maybe push this pawn and get this stuff going. I seen this right before he played it. I looked at it and I thought, well, is that bad? And I couldn't evaluate if it was bad or not. I don't think I played it quite the way I should have. This rook, in hindsight, might have been better off on this square, the open file. I don't think I'm losing here. I'm not doing badly. I decided I was going to push. I thought, I didn't see this bishop coming back until right about here. I thought, well, I can just get this bishop off. If he takes with the queen, this knight is still a little loose.
Check.
But then I realized my pawns aren't looking the greatest. I spent a little time analyzing how I wanted to work this out. And I had debated letting him have this pawn, playing my queen up to here, letting him take there. I probably should have just put my queen over here. And I think I'm fine. But I decided to play it a little bit riskier, and I wanted to put this queen here, and it's going to become obvious why here in a moment. And I didn't think he should take this. I thought he should play the knight here, maybe something like this. But after here, and when I first calculated this, I thought, well, I can take here. Yeah, takes here, and I'm just down a pawn with an attack on my e3. But then I thought, well, I can play my rook. But this doesn't look the greatest for me. He's got an attack here. If I try to do something like this, it just doesn't work out. But then I hit on this pawn up here. So I have this nice attack here. The knight is hanging. I spent some time trying to evaluate this bishop sacrifice. And the reason I was evaluating it on first sight, you think, well, he'd just take it and check, and it's just overwhelming. What I was concerned about, check, which I did do it, was this. After, and this queen comes back, I can trade queens, double his pawns. That might even be a possibility. But I also have this. This is interesting. I couldn't evaluate this position real well. I just had to trust my gut and go for it. Didn't work. He took it. And now I just have an overwhelming attack. And when I got into this, I kept thinking, how can he defend this? Well, he can play the bishop here to defend that square, but then my rook has it. Well, then I panicked from this queen coming to c2. But as I looked at it deeper, I realized I had e4.
Check. Check.
And there it is, blocking this diagonal, or attack, keeping me out. Well, I have this. Now if he checks me here, I'm still covered there. And here I really blew this game a little bit. He gave a little left here, and I have a force mate.
Check.
This is the force mate. I didn't see it. I just completely missed it. I was so focused on this f7 square, looking at ways of sacrificing a knight there, maybe the rook, but this piece was hanging, and it was just it was just too much. I couldn't work it all out.
Check.
I figured I would just win the exchange.
Check.
And I'm up the exchange with a nice attack on this square here.
Check.
Now here I felt I was completely winning, and I am winning. I didn't at the time realize this was his best move. I don't want to trade queens. My whole attacking potential is gone. I can check here and then win this pawn, and I'm winning. But it didn't work out like that. And he wanted to play this move, and he wrote it down on his score sheet and then scribbled it out and played this.
Checkmate.
So just one of them things of changing his mind at the last minute backfired, and I got a nice mate out of it. That's my game.